man, and they were proud, just like the devils today, man. How you know it's the same people, man.
And what's the slogan in America? Do as wrong is. You know what I'm saying? They actually got a slogan like that, man.
It's some that I brought out earlier, some similar, looking up. Ecclesiastes 3 and 14. I know that whatsoever the Most High do it, it should be forever. Nothing can be put to it, nor anything taken from it.
There you go, man. When Esau basically came to America, it was a perfect setup over here, man. This land, you had the Northern Kingdom, man. This was a fruitful land, man. You know, they ain't had to worry about nothing. The crops, all the different streams of water, man. You can drink out of any stream over here, man. You know, now you got all this water, so-called, they got to process the water, man. They basically messed the whole system up, man. Like that article you used to bring out. Lord, we'll get that article. I can get a change on how the Gadai was like when Esau came. Everything was a perfect setup. You know,
as I say, this like the so-called Native Americans, the Gadites and Reuben, with one buffalo, you know, you can feed a whole family for half a year to a year, man. And then you can use. They used to use their buffalo. They used to get all the use out of it. Esau was wasteful. You know, they used to kill the buffalo, and they used to get it for food. They used to make weapons out the bone. They used to make clothes and tents out of the skin. You know, they got the full use of one buffalo. They ain't have to go out there and just keep killing and killing. Esau, he go try to catch all the fish he can in one day. He try to go kill all the animals he can in one day.
And don't eat them though.
Don't eat them.
The scripture says all things have their use. So God was a pure genius in taking something and utilizing it in so many different dimensions, in so many different ways.
Esau calls the term being efficient.
Yeah, Esau calls it being efficient. He uses that concept on a job.
Right.
When you work for him, he gonna make sure you put that plastic bottle in the plastic bottle bin, and he gonna make sure you put that bag of chips in a plastic bag bin. You know, he's gonna make sure you do that.
Or he'll give you a job, but you will have 5 or 6 different roles, man.
Yeah.
Just like Gary, you had so many multiple uses for the buffalo, but Esau basically does us. We're the buffalo, and then basically he makes us do all this pulling, so on and so forth, man.
Yeah,
but you give Michael Vick 2 years for fighting a dog, but you'll kill a buffalo and take his fucking head and hang it off in your goddamn dining room.
And then you smiling with your ugly ass 3-year-old daughter with the damn buffalo, like about that she's on top of the damn buffalo, man. Hey, brother, scripture.
This Proverbs 29:2. And the righteous are authority, he rejoice.
And then a video came out with the lady. She was from other nations talking about, I'm here to tell y'all, Negroes, that y'all are actually Israelites. You know, this whole world is mourning, man. You go on Russia TV, Press TV, Al Jazeera. They're talking about jewelry and shit. Hey, but basically, you know, you go on these sites and you see people mourning, man. You know, these people are not happy. Why? Because the true kings and princes are not ruling, man.
Yeah, when you watch CNN and Fox News and you see half of the Arab world riding against their government, they're not riding against their government. They're riding against the puppet government that America set up. It's called hegemony. All right, when Esau, what happens is you have natural leaders. You have people like Gaddafi. You have people like Noriega. You have actual leaders. And what happens is when those leaders don't conform to America, Esau sends a military coup in his government, overthrows his government, and sets up his own government. And what he does, he sets up a puppet leader in that country. And that's called hegemony. All right, so
he places a central bank within that government.
And they'll place a central bank. And what happens is only the elites in that country get the money. So Esau splits it between himself and the elites. But the rest of the people in that country, they starve because they have a puppet government. So when you see people riding over there in the Middle East and overseas, they're not riding against their own government and America's there to help them. Right. They're riding against the puppet government that America set up.
And see, that's why the Rockefellers, that's how they enslaved the entire world, because they used to give out loans to the government because they know the government always would need the money for war, so on and so forth.
And they kept them in debt.
And they kept them in debt, man. And they gathered up all these nations, man. It's crazy, man.
But when the wicked rule, the people mourn.
Yeah.
I got a quick one linked up with
Oh
with
yeah.
the brother. Alright, this cause we talking about read the first part of it, 29 too.
When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice.
Alright, so we're gonna get into it, how it's gonna be when the righteous rule, future prophecy. This Isaiah 44:23. Sing, O ye heavens, for the Lord hath done it. Shout, ye lower parts of the earth. Break forth into singing, ye mountains, O forests and every tree therein. For the Lord hath redeemed Jacob and glorified himself in Israel.
Come on, man. So everything with life is gonna rejoice, man. Once Esau is taken down, man, the rightful rulers of the earth is put back in their rightful place, man, in their rightful order, man. Everything with life is gonna rule, like the brother said, the mountains, the trees, everything, man.
I got a real quick one back up what you just brought up. Ezekiel 36:8. But ye, O mountains of Israel, ye shall shoot forth your branches and yield your fruit to my people of Israel.
Right, and that's actually talking about the land, man, because in the land of Israel, they actually have to plant trees and stuff, man. Have to get trees from other countries and come plant them, man. And it's supposed to be the land, the fruitful land, man. It's the fertile crescent, man. But even over there, when the brother basically brought out going back to the Garden of Eden, man, you got the Euphrates River drying up, you got the Tigris River drying up, and you got the Nile River drying up over there, man. Those three are the main rivers that was dumping into each other to water the Garden of Eden, man.
And that's why that area was so fertile. And I was actually talking to an Edomite that I was working with, and he hit me with something. He was like, "Yeah, the watermelon, that's not American fruit. That's native to the Mediterranean." And I'm like, "Well, I never thought about that," because he was like, "The Mediterranean, the Middle East, it didn't always look like that. A long time ago, it was very fertile, and now we're reading about it in the scriptures because it's saying when we go back to that land, that's how it's gonna be." I'm gonna read that again.
Right, because before the brother get that, if you read earlier up in the chapter, it basically let you know, is it gonna go into where the land is bearing the burden of the heathen? That's why it's in that condition.
Yeah, it's in this chapter. I'm just gonna get to the point though.
Come on.
Ezekiel 36:8. But ye, O mountains of Israel, ye shall shoot forth your branches and yield your fruit to my people of Israel, for they are at hand to come.
Right, man. So that proved that the actual people that's over there now are not the real Israelites. Even though you got some people that actually went back, man. But when the Lord actually redeemed the whole nation of Israel, like it said, for they are at hand to come, then that land gonna basically be fruitful and fertile again, man. Like it should, man. But if you read on it down in that chapter, it basically let you know the land bearing the shame of the heathen right now. So that's why it's unfruitful, man. You know? Which going back into folly set in great dignity and the rich sit in low places, man.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, man, that if you're on the 12 tribes, you live in America, you don't even know how beautiful the earth is. And that applies to me too, because I don't even know from personal experience how beautiful the earth is, because I never left the country, man. You know what I mean? And you don't even understand that the earth is a beautiful paradise, or was a beautiful paradise, man. Esau knows, because he travels.
That's right, and that's why the scripture in Genesis states how that garden was planted eastward in Eden, going back that the whole entire earth was a paradise, man.
Right.
Up until Esau came into rulership.
Yeah, here you are chasing Tamika down the street with about 2 baby daddies, you out to her, and you supposed to be discovering the whole earth, man. And that's how it's gonna be in the kingdom, man. We just gonna enjoy the planets. We gonna be in our chariots, going sightseeing, extending the territory, extending the kingdom. Brother got a
Since you're saying that, I'm just gonna read a few more verses than what you was reading. This Ezekiel 36:9. For behold, going back to our people, for I am for you, and I will turn unto you, but it's the land, you shall be tilled and sown, and I will multiply men upon you.
Yeah, what does it mean, multiply men upon you? He's gonna put the Israelites back in that land.
All the house of Israel, even all of it, and the city shall be inhabited, and the waste this shall be built.
Yeah, because right now it's wasted, man. And you got 2 heathens fighting over it. You got the Arabs, which are the Ishmaelites. Then you got the Israelis, which are really the Edomites, man. The Khazars fighting over our land, man. And it's horrible, man. I go ahead.
Verse 11. I got 2 more verses. Verse 11. And I will multiply upon you man and beast, and they shall increase and bring fruit, and I will settle you after your old estates.
So
And
it's gonna go back to the status of what the land of milk and honey.
Yeah.
Because in order to have milk and honey, you gotta have fertile land, which brings the bees, and then you gotta have cattle, man.
Well, that's
You know?
a beautiful point. And when you got bees, man, doing their thing, that mean that whole area is gonna be very what's the word, fluorescent?
Fluorescent?
Yeah, it's gonna be very fruitful, man. And the fruit gonna be big and juicy, man. It's not gonna be a sign that says organic. You know, it's just gonna be naturally.
Hey, back in King David days, you remember how the scripture stated that it used to take 2 men to carry a cluster of grapes, man.
Yeah.
That's how the earth is going back to, man.
And I will settle you after your old estates, and will do better unto you than at your beginnings. And ye shall know that I am the Lord. Yea, I will cause men to walk upon you, even my people Israel, and they shall possess thee, and thou shalt be their inheritance, and thou shalt no more henceforth bereave them of
And
men.
that's talking about us, man. We getting our land back, man.
Yeah, quick question, because the Israelis and Israel are the real Israelites. Why isn't that land prospering? That's just a little quick question for people.
Mm-hmm.
But you got your precepts out?
Yeah.
When you finish up?
Yeah, that's it.
Hey, add on to Yash, Isaiah 6 and 13. The glory of Lebanon shall come unto thee, the fir tree, the pine tree, and the box together to beautify the place of my sanctuary. And I will make the place of my feet glorious.
Yeah, that's Jerusalem, man.
Mm-hmm.
All right, it's Israel. All right, right now it's not glorious because the people aren't there, man. The shoe is not filmed right now.
Right, so this the after effects right here. We reading the after effects, man.
Yeah.
Somebody you had something? I got something.
And this is very confident because right now we're living in hell, and even though we men of the Lord and we Most High give us the research, you really not gonna know how much in hell you were until you get to the kingdom and look back at America like we was in a cesspool.
Mm-hmm.
This is like spiritually and literally a cesspool, man.
And that's a beautiful point because a lot of stuff come from hindsight, after the fact.
They call it 20/20 hindsight.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like you grow up in a rough environment, bad environment, but if you grew up there, you adapt to it.
Mm-hmm.
But if you kind of, I don't know, get a little money, you move to the better side of town for 10
Mhm.
years, and you drive back to your old neighborhood, you like, dang,
It's really
I lived
fucked
here.
up.
Like that, I survived this shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know, same thing. I go ahead.
Oh, this is Hosea, chapter 4, verse 1. Hear the word of the Lord, ye children of Israel. For the Lord had a controversy with the inhabitants of the land, because there is no truth, no mercy, nor knowledge of the Most High in the land.
Well, you know they got gay parades in Israel. They got kosher pig in Israel. No truth, no knowledge, no mercy of the Lord in Israel, man, in the land.
And in America, man, because the same two people running both lands, man. Going back to the book of Ezekiel, man. Like I said, we took these these nations and these two lands into our possession, man. What was that? America and Israel. Like the brother was saying, it's mine speaking about America, but it's speaking about Israel too, man, because they're the main two countries.
Which I think.
Hosea.
I go ahead.
This is verse 2. By swearing and lying and killing and stealing and committing adultery, they break out and blood touches blood.
Right. I'll go ahead.
Verse 3. Therefore shall the land mourn, and everyone that dwells therein shall languish with the beasts of the field and with the fowls of the heaven. Yeah, the fishes of the sea also shall be taken away.
And you can tell that the fish of the sea are on a different frequency than us because they know that their habitat is polluted. So what do? They beach themselves, you know. But shit, Jacob around here and Esau around here basically continue to go through their day-to-day life. It's kind of like the scripture when Yahushua gave the devils permission, the demons permission to jump into the pigs. They knew that those demons was on them. What did they do? They jumped off the cliff.
Yeah.
You know.
Go ahead, finish out.
Got a couple more.
Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 16 to 17. That's it on there, bro?
Yeah, that was it.
Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 16 to 17. Thou art filled with shame for glory. Drink thou also, let thy foreskin be uncovered. And this was
This
what's happening right now, man, through the word of the Lord, man. You know, through the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, man. Basically uncovering the foreskin of Esau, man. Because that had to happen first, man. You know, everything start in the spirit world first, man, but everything is spiritual first, man. Then it physically manifests after that spirit just continues to put that vibration out there, man, to tear down the strongholds, man. The cup of the Lord's right hand shall be turned unto thee, and shameful spurring shall be on thy glory.
And beginning with Yahweh Shai, man, the captain of our salvation.
Cause that's their right hand. You know, the brother Yahshua by Ariel went into they did sit down about how Yahweh always uses Yahweh Shai. That's his right hand, you know.
Verse 17, for the violence of Lebanon shall cover thee, and the spoils of the beasts, which made them afraid. Right.
Oh, you got it.
Right. The violence of Lebanon going into basically the cedars of Lebanon, basically like a main. Well, that's where the choice trees came from over there in the land, man. They basically got them out of the cedars of Lebanon, man. And what do America like to do? Even they got it from the Babylonians though, man. Cause even the Babylonians, they basically had started hunting animals for sports. You know what I'm saying? They was doing it for a sport, man. But then you got Esau today. He like to cut down all the trees, man. You know, going that's like I said, for the violence unto Lebanon and the spoils of the beasts, which made them afraid. Esau get the animals and take them to a zoo, man, and make you know what I'm saying, make it out of an entertainment thing, man.
And then drug them up.
Then he'll clear out acres and acres and acres of land just to build some plant, you know, and he'll cut down so many trees just to build some plant, man. You know? Right,
because when you actually had like the Gadites, when they used to cut down the trees, man, they basically they'll cut down the trees and they'll make like a garden or something, man. They used to cut like for us on Issachar, they used to cut down the trees, then they'll burn them, man, which made the land extra fertile, man. Then they'll actually grow crops there and be a super fertile land, man. So they weren't just cutting down the trees like the brother was saying and make a plant. Yeah, you get a plant, then start polluting the earth with it, you know what I'm saying? All type of different stuff they using for the plant, man, just destroying the earth, man.
That's a strong point you made. That's why Yahweh Ba'Shem Ashah is going to destroy Israel with fire. Because like he said, how Gad went in there and when they burned, it became fertile. And that's what's going to happen with Israel, man. That's a great point.
And the spoil of the beast, which made them afraid because of men's blood, and for violence of the land, of the city, and of all that dwell therein, man.
Yeah, so everything you did, Esau, you have to pay for that shit, man. You know, you've been a problem since you came upon the face of the earth, going back into the garden.
He basically got everybody afraid. The nations. Everything with life. Esau got it afraid, man. The beasts of the field, the trees, you know what I'm saying? Like they got the commercial, the trees talking and shit. They were like, oh, he tell the other tree, I'm finna die, man. Catch me. But they were making fun of Esau, man.
Hey, but that's scriptural because what's that in Isaiah 14? It tells you how the tree's gonna say, ain't no fella came up against us.
That's where I'm at.
See.
You had some first, bro? You had some?
Yeah, he got the code.
Okay.
Okay.
I got Isaiah 14.
He got a point.
Okay. Isaiah chapter 14, I start at verse 5. The Lord has broken the staff of the wicked and the scepter of the rulers.
Yeah, and that staff is going into your rulership, man.
He who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke, he that ruled the nations in anger is persecuted and none hinder it.
And these are characteristics of Esau.
Come, man. So, hey, right, come. The whole earth is at rest and is quiet. They break forth into singing.
Now the scripture has jumped back. You know, it's jumped in time. That's when we gonna get that land back, man. Everything is gonna go back in balance.
Come. Yea, the fir trees rejoice at thee, and the cedars of Lebanon saying, since thou art laid down, no fella is come up against
Now,
us.
if you go into Hebrew, that fella is actually going into a person that cuts wood, man.
Come. That's basically
Okay.
I just want to make a real quick point of just how fruitful the land was when it was in its prime, man. You know, just to show you how many animals that King Solomon had to spare back then. It's First King chapter 8 and 63. And Solomon offered a sacrifice of peace offering